Hi, this is Michael R. Maglaque, and today I'm going to discuss one of the designated reports to us, Technology Revolution, that includes the internet, genetic engineering, digital media, personal computer, and mobile phones. So I am Mr. Michael R. Maglaque, one of the PhD in Science Education students of NEUST. So, to begin with, I would like to use one of the uh, sources that I would like to share regarding our topic, wherein I will cite Professor Carlota Perez. Uh, Professor Carlota Perez cited this what we call five technological revolutions. So it was discussed actually in 3 minutes. So in this particular topic, okay, we need to understand where and how this technological revolutions came in, how it started, and who are these people behind these technological revolutions, and what are the triggering factor to state where these revolutions came in. Okay, so in this particular topic, of course, we know that the major reason is the capitalism. Okay? So according here, capitalism reinvents itself every 40 to 70 years. So why? Because we can actually see that there is evolution in terms of the materials that we are using. And of course, in economics, we know that people are competing, so they need to improve their products. So this is the reason why capitalism no, it reinvents itself every 40 to 70 years because, of course, time is said to be moving. So therefore, uh, all manufacturers, all the industries must also evolve in terms of the products that they are said to be producing. Okay, so you can see here, uh, late 18th century, and then the early 19th century and late 19th century, you can see that there is a massive evolution. So there is also a massive reinvention that brings a new common sense. Okay, so in the early 20th century, together with a new set of all pervasive technologies that we are using right now in the 20th century. So we know that right now all of our computers are being run with powerful processors, um, that the television that we are enjoying every day, the cell phones that we have, all of these are said to be subject for improvement and innovations. So from 18th century up to 20th century, we can see technological revolutions. Now, as we go along with this, that common sense, of course, there is this what we call how we produce. Okay, so this kind of thinking is how do we produce this kind of products, right? Technological products. So we are enjoying right now this modern advancement of technology, but if we go in the 18th and 19th century, we pose this question on how they produce their products, and you can see a train here. We know that the old trains are using this coal, right? These trains process this coal in order to run this old train, right? So consume and organize our institutions. So we are talking of the consumptions. Of course, people are consuming a lot of products. They are using a lot of technology in order to make their life convenient. Okay, so there have been five technological revolutions, and we know that technological revolutions are healthy in our society because, of course, people are competing in terms of providing the best service to our clienteles. So, with that kind of objective, they are trying to reinvent and innovate the products that they have in consonance to technology. Okay? So, the first one, in terms of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century in Britain, okay, so what happened is that there were massive uh, production of materials, and even they have created, according here, they built canals for cheap and easy transport. So they focus on the transportation, okay, because they believe that when they build this proper canals and good transportation, they could be able to travel all their products and deliver the products properly to their clients. So, as you can see in the 18th century, what their focus is more of the transportation. Uh, they introduced machinery and factories. And 6 decades later, what happened is that there were revolutions. So they use this. They use steam, coal, iron, and railways, and began in Britain too. Okay, so that's why in Britain, as you can see in the picture, massive improvements in terms of their transportation because they were able to invent, old trains in order to carry all the products and, of course, people. All right. Now, from the 1870s, it is actually the age of steel and heavy engineering. So, in this particular time, there is a improvement now in terms of the usage of the steel and heavy engineering. Okay, so you can see that they build the bridges, churches. Uh, there was this what we call globalization. Okay, in terms of how they build the infrastructures. So in the 20th century, we can compare it now that it is considered to be the age of automobile, oil, petrochemicals, and mass production. So it was actually begun in the United States and our current age of information and communications technology. So as you can see, right now we are using some technologies that are said to be wireless. In terms of medicine, there is a massive improvement in terms of genetic engineering, biotechnology. Imagine we can now uh, see how the structure of the DNA by using a lot of models. We can now perform several experimentations because of the improvement of technology. So by using different technology, like putting high processors in our laptops, we can now produce data that said to be essential in terms of our work, whether we are in science or in other field of endeavor. So in 1970s, it is actually the starting year of the Silicon Valley. We know the Silicon Valley is prominent in terms of the production of electronic gadgets and technological materials that we are using, especially if we are using computers. Silicon Valley is prominent in that particular aspect. Okay, so each technological revolution begins in one or few sectors. Okay, all right. So you can see in this particular point, wherein it started from one corner of this planet and it spreads. Okay, meaning to say, one country initiated these technological revolutions until other country and other continents were able to adapt as well this kind of technological revolutions, because we believe that this technology will make our lives convenient. And that's the reason why people in that time engage in these technological revolutions. So, of course, most of our activity, human activities, it takes a lot of effort in order to accomplish it, right? But with the use of the technology of today, we can now make our work convenient. Okay, so you can now see in the picture, new technologies appear and come together. In terms of transportation, we have already a lot of vehicles, and we can see now the establishment of the towers. So wireless communication now is present in our times. And of course, those uncertain new technologies need risk finance to develop. So there were also struggles in that time, because of course, when we are engaging in terms of technology, it is considered to be costly. So there were financial adjustments in that time, but people were able to cope up, no, with this kind of challenges, and they were able to adapt these changes. They were able to believe that technological revolution is part of human life. So you can see the establishment of the satellites, so communication from different places. Example, this far flung areas now can be reached because of the technology that we are using in terms of our communication. So the world today is becoming smaller because of the technology that we are using. So those uncertain new technologies need risk finance to develop. Okay? All right? So the initial successes bring a frenzy of investment. Okay? So this was an investment for the people in the time that ends in a major financial bubbles. Their inevitable collapses bring recessions and social unrest. Those who lost their jobs and skills are resentful and tend to follow emerging populist leaders. In order to achieve social well being for all, we need to recognize the failure of the dominant practices, which are now obsolete. Okay? And also to identify the potential of the new technologies. So, meaning to say, in that particular time, there were some failures in the society because there are obsolete technology that they are using. So they were able to realize, and that is the starting point of this technological revolution. It started from an awakening situation in their lives. So both creating new and better ones in both the public and the private sphere. Okay? So since the microprocessor first appeared, and after the culmination of intense market experimentation with hardware, software, and organizations, we are in the aftermath of major bubbles and in the middle of the systemic crisis. The world is at a turning point, and we need to reap the full benefits of digital revolution, especially right now that we are in COVID-19 pandemic. We can see the benefit of the use of this technology like mobile phones, uh, especially in terms of our education. Our teaching and learning process is still going on because of the online distance learning that we have. So we need to thank those people who work hard for the development of our technology. So we are enjoying this because of their hard work, and brilliance. And we need to recognize the fact that we are now in the era of digital revolution. In doing so, we must create the new fabric of the economy and the new social safety net. So it means to say that before, we are using a lot of paper, we're spending a lot of paper in terms of business transactions. But right now, because of the influx of technology, we can now use different computers, powerful computers in terms of our business transactions. So, therefore, we can speak out that technological revolutions led to computer-based business transactions and computer-based online distance learning. So it is up to us envision what the economy will look like. So it depends on us, people. It could be that many people believes that technological revolution must be implemented and must be scattered in all parts of the earth. There are also people until now, they don't want improvement. They don't want technology because for them it is inconvenient to use technology. But we need to embrace one another that technology is an helpful way for us to better our lives. And part of the evolution of science and technology is to recognize that there were technological revolution in the 18th century up to the 20th century of this recent time. Let's bring forth the green global golden age of the information of revolution. So I hope that you learn in our presentation. Again, the topic that I discussed is technology revolution that includes the internet, genetic engineering, digital media, personal computer, mobile phones. And this is Michael R. Maglaque, one of the students under PhD in science education. Thank you so much for listening.